Hey, what's going on, everyone? Axel here. Today, I want to talk about a general life topic, and that's losing weight. Because it seems like everyone around me these days is trying to lose weight in some form or another. It's a big problem in America, especially. We're one of the worst countries in terms of obesity, and it's really tough for a lot of people to lose weight. And I wanted to reflect on this because, me personally, I did lose quite a bit of weight last year. I lost over 30 pounds, about 30 pounds ish. I wanted to lose that weight and I ended up doing it. And I'm not one of these guys who was like 300 plus, like 300 pounds overweight and made a dramatic turn in their life or anything. It's just, I'm just a normal guy who wanted to lose like 30 pounds, and I did it. And I wanted to reflect on how I did it and what I learned along the way. So hopefully it'll help some of you guys out there who are trying to lose a little bit of weight. But I want to show you what I've learned. And just to clarify, I am not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, anything like that. So this is not meant to be taken as professional health advice, anything like that. So keep that in mind. This is just one guy's opinion on this topic. So I wrote down a few things here. First thing I want to talk about is exercise, because I think a lot of people believe that you have to work your butt off in the gym to lose weight, when I found out that that's actually not true at all. Now, it certainly is great to work out and it certainly helps this process, but most of your effort has to be in what you eat, because you can go work out for an hour at the gym and you can put back on all the calories you burned off just by eating a donut. Like, it's so easy to put back on calories you burn off at the gym, that it really becomes a necessity to focus on what you're eating rather than what you're burning off at the gym. Now, the gym, again, a great thing. It's a great thing to help you along the way, but it's not. I don't think exercise can be the main way you lose weight. You have to make some kind of change in your diet. Now, one thing. Speaking of diet, let's talk about diets. There's all kinds of mainstream diets. Like Atkins is the one I hear about a lot, but there's all kinds of diets. But my personal opinion is that diets just don't work long term. They're great for short term. Say a girl wants to lose like 10 pounds for a wedding. Fine, that's understandable. You want to drop those 10 pounds just for a short period of time. That's understandable. But if we're talking about losing weight and keeping it off for your whole life, I don't think diets work, because in order to lose weight and keep it off for your whole life, you have to adopt some new lifestyle that's sustainable. And I don't think diets, for the most part, are sustainable. Something like Atkins, are you really going to stick to not eating carbs your whole life? Like, is that realistic? I think what a lot of people do is they get on a diet and they have success with it, but it's just not viable in the long term, because you have to let yourself, like, you have to be in a state where you're happy and where you can be okay with what you're eating. And I think a lot of people are miserable on diets, and when you're that miserable, you're not going to succeed in the long term, in my opinion. Let's talk about food, like healthy food. Another thing I hear a lot is that a lot of people think that eating healthy is this expensive thing. A lot of people are like, oh, but I can only afford to buy a double cheeseburger or whatever from McDonald's for $1.50, whatever, because I don't have a lot of money, blah 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 blah. But actually, you'll save a lot of money by eating healthy. There's so many super healthy things that are dirt cheap. Like, go to the just to the produce section of your store and just look at all the different vegetables that are there. There are so many dirt cheap vegetables. You can get like a huge head of cabbage for, well, like not even $1, like 75 cents. You can get sweet potatoes are pretty cheap. Whole wheat pasta, whole grain rice, just all kinds of greens. You can get a huge bunch of kale for like maybe even $1, like a huge amount of kale that's enough to feed a family for one night, like a whole 5-person family. There's all kinds of really cheap leafy green vegetables. So I just want to tell you that for people that say eating healthy is too expensive, it's really not. I mean, there's pasta, whole wheat pasta. There's all kinds of really cheap dinners you can make that are also extremely healthy. So, and I found that, like, me personally, I love eating kale and it's super cheap. I like eating sweet potatoes, we're pretty cheap. I like eating rice. I like quinoa. All that stuff's actually really cheap. Even some meat, like really lean meats, tend to be the kind that a lot of people don't like. Like I like eating like really lean steak is actually not all that expensive. And there's a lot of other examples of this. Just go look at the like produce section in your store. There's a lot of really cheap alternatives, or do a Google search and just look up cheap healthy food, because there's all kinds of really healthy stuff out there that's also really cheap. So I don't really buy that excuse that I can't afford to eat healthy. It's just not true. One thing that really helped me a lot was drinking more fluids. Just, it's amazing how much, how much it will suppress your hunger if you drink like a glass of water before you eat. That helped me a lot. Or just what I did was I can kind of got into the habit of continuously drinking fluids. I started drinking a lot of water, but I also drink other stuff. Like coffee is fine. Coffee actually has no calories in it, as long as you drink it black and don't put any sugar or cream, anything like that in it. Green tea, I really like green tea. It's actually really good. That's a good alternative. And even stuff that's not super healthy, but it's like stuff like diet soda and diet drinks, it's not super healthy, but it's better than drinking regular soda in terms of the calories you're putting on. Now I know there's arguments about whether or not diet drinks are good for you because of the artificial sweeteners, but I can tell you that they do have way less calories so than a regular soda, so that's good. If you're someone who's addicted to soda and you want to try to get off, it might be a good idea to wean yourself off with diet soda and then make the plunge into stuff like coffee and tea and water. But one other thing. One other thing that really helped me is just simply not buying crap. Like, don't buy stuff that you know is bad for you. That sounds like it's common. It would be common sense, right? But it's amazing how it's not for some people. Just don't buy the bad food. If you don't have it in your refrigerator, you can't eat it. It's really that simple. But I want to get to the main idea, and I think the main thought that really helped me lose weight, and that's food and how you treat food. A lot of people want to lose weight, but it all comes down to your mindset. That's one thing I really learned in how you view food, because a lot of people, especially today with everything or all the fast food places around us, McDonald's and Wendy's and Taco Bell everywhere, all these amazing tasting foods like ice cream and like all this stuff, pizza, that's everywhere, all around us all the time, that's advertised on TV. They always push how good it is, like how great it tastes. And you have to start viewing food not as something that's there for you to enjoy. It's not an enjoyment activity. It's not a pleasure activity. What all food is fuel for your body, to keep your body going, your heart pumping, your body moving, your body healthy. That's how you have to view it. You have to view it as you are a robot and food is your fuel. You can't view it as pleasure. You can't even think of food as a pleasurable thing. It's just something you have to do to survive. Like, you have to adopt that mindset. If you don't adopt that mindset, then it's really hard to lose weight. And not just thinking of food as pleasure, thinking of food as a reward is equally bad, because a lot of people, they treat food as a way to relieve stress. And I understand that. I've done that in the past too. And I'm not perfect. I still do that sometimes. But you have to move that idea, that stress relief, to another activity. Find something else. For me, it was video games. Amazing as that sounds, like it's probably not the healthiest one, but I think that you got to find something. Like, when you sit down, you have those bad days where you're stressed out, or you have those times when something's really bothering you. It's at those times you have to really reach out and say no to that food and go reach out for another activity that's going to give you that same stress relief, that's going to give you that distraction from whatever's bothering you, but at the same time it won't make you gain weight. So whatever that is, if that's playing a sport, if that's hanging out with friends, if that's playing video games, if that's whatever that is, playing your guitar, playing music, whatever, listening to music, going for a drive, going hunting, going for a walk, whatever you need to do to relieve that stress, you need to find an alternate activity that's not eating. So what else? I think that's about it for I think that's all I wanted to say. So that's just my thoughts. Again, this is not professional health advice. It should not be taken as such. Disclaimer. So do not take this as professional health advice. I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian, but these are just some of the thoughts and ideas that helped me lose 30 pounds. And I hope it helps someone out there. So guys, please comment below. Let me know if you agree with me on any of this stuff, if you've tried to lose weight, if you've been successful, just any comments or criticisms of what I've said, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to read. So if you enjoyed the video, please, like I said, comment, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my content in the future. You can hit me up on social media, on Facebook and Twitter at Axel Alexander. And again, be sure to subscribe if you want to see my videos in the future. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good one.